So Chennedy Carter is a player for nobody right now. Absolutely nobody. She is not playing basketball, and like, we've now got a situation where we've got one of the 15 best players in the world just not in the...
Chennedy Carter just got hit with one of the harshest moves in pro sports. No warning, no farewell, not even a sugar-coated exit. The Chicago Sky simply signed her replacement and moved on. She was never really in their long-term plans. Was this a strategic front office decision, or did Carter burn her bridges?
The Chicago Sky finally replaced Chennedy Carter with Ariel Atkins, and I am using this as my opportunity to extend an olive branch to the Chennedy Carter Brigade. The Ken folk, I believe you guys call yourself. I am taking this as an opportunity to reach out my...
Carter just got a reality check, and honestly, it was overdue. A season full of controversy, cheap shots, and turning Caitlin Clark into her personal rival has finally caught up with her. Chicago didn't just cut ties, they made sure there was no way back.
Atkins is a good guard. She's a solid player. But they had Chennedy Carter that they chose to not re-sign, who was one of the most explosive shooting guards in the league. I put her around 2 or 3. I mean, I'm right now playing with Caitlin Clark. I give Kelsey Mitchell the edge. Right now, I think Chennedy Carter is a better shooting guard than, say, Sabrina Ionescu, Kelsey Plum. So, I mean, she's right.
Enter Ariel Atkins, a smart, reliable player who delivers without the drama. While Carter wonders what's next, the Sky have already moved forward, wasting no time bringing in someone who actually strengthens the team. And the fans? Some are thrilled, while others think Carter got a raw deal.
I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
One thing's for sure, Chicago made their position clear. This wasn't some quiet decision behind closed doors. They wanted everyone to know they were done with Carter.
A seasoned player before Carter could even try to fight for her spot? That's as direct as it gets.
Do you have any regrets on how it happened and everything that's happened since then?
I don't have any regrets with anything. I'm going to compete and play 100% hard no matter who it is, like I said, or who we're playing. No, I don't have any regrets.
And honestly, is anyone shocked? Instead of focusing on helping her team, Carter leaned into the villain role. The attitude, the unprofessional behavior, it all caught up to her. Drama might entertain fans, but WNBA teams want winners, not reality TV personalities.
It's a mad one for me, because I'm like, this is, if this was a year ago, fair enough. But like, the Sky were willing to take her in. And look, I get it, maybe she wasn't the greatest in the locker room, but she was really good at basketball.
Meanwhile, Atkins arrives in Chicago with no baggage and all the right skills. She's exactly the type of player who makes a team better without distractions.
She plays hard, she plays smart, and, imagine this, she actually respects the game. That alone makes her an instant upgrade.
Carter's biggest supporters may call foul, but the truth is simple. If you're not a team player, you won't have a team. The Sky saw a chance to improve and remove unnecessary drama, and they took it. No emotions, just business.
First glance, the Chicago Sky trading the number 3 pick in the draft to the Mystics for Ariel Atkins could feel like a little bit of a desperate move, right? Chicago desperate to compete right now with Angel Reese after her rookie season. Of course, Camila Cardoso's rookie season as well. So I get that, and it's a nice rebuilding move by the Mystics.
Now the real question is, what's next for Chennedy Carter? Because let's be honest, WNBA teams aren't exactly lining up to sign her. She's technically a free agent, but that doesn't mean much if no one's willing to take the risk.
About talent, Carter can hoop, and that's never been in doubt. But being a professional athlete is about more than just skill. It's about attitude, discipline, and understanding that basketball is a team sport, not a one-woman show. Right now, she's looking more like the player everyone avoids picking in a pickup game. And unless she does some serious damage control, This could be the abrupt end of her WNBA career.
Last year due to Carter's behavior, which apparently went unchecked by former coach Teresa Weatherspoon. There was concern within the team regarding how re-signing Carter would impact the Sky's chances of landing other free agents. And likely this was a joint decision that was made between the GM and the new head coach, Tyler.
Meanwhile, Chicago isn't looking back. With Atkins in place and their focus on winning, they've moved on. Carter, however, is left wondering how it all went wrong.
It wasn't just one thing. It was an entire season's worth of poor decisions. Chennedy Carter didn't just lose her roster spot.
Right now, she's an untouchable free agent, and no team wants to take a gamble on her. And can you blame them? After spending a season targeting Caitlin Clark on and off the court, she now faces an offseason filled with uncertainty instead of preparing for the 2025 season.
What little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
Maybe if she had focused on her actual game instead of trying to make a statement at Clark's expense, she wouldn't be in this mess. But instead,
Carter embraced the villain role, cheap shots, trash talk, and treating Clark like an overrated rookie. Now, instead of defending against Clark, she'll be watching from home, scrolling through WNBA highlights without her name in them.
Turned to you a little bit
Yeah.
after the fever
I
score.
didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
the saddest part? This downfall was entirely avoidable. Rivalries are a part of sports, but the great ones always knew how to toe the line between competitive and self-destructive.
Her attitude wasn't just a problem on the court, it followed her to interviews, social media, and public appearances. Now, with no team willing to give her another chance, she's learning the hard way that bad behavior doesn't pay off.
I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court.
The biggest irony? Caitlin Clark, the player Carter tried to humiliate, is thriving. She's the face of the league, breaking records, landing endorsements, and gearing up for an MVP caliber season while Carter waits for a phone call that might never come.
Caitlin Clark is done. Caitlin Clark has changed the industry. She is bigger than the WNBA. There is not a player in the NBA right now who could come in and be bigger than the NBA. For what it's worth, LeBron James at 40 is not bigger than the NBA. When LeBron James retires, we won't blink. I'm being real. People will not blink. They'll keep.
Carter's options are slim. With no WNBA teams interested, her next move might be playing overseas.
Step away from the game altogether. And let's be real, once a player leaves the WNBA, there's never a guarantee they'll return. Front offices have long memories, and Carter's reputation isn't exactly screaming second chance. This isn't just a minor career.
This is one of the biggest self-inflicted career collapses in recent memory. Carter had the talent and the opportunity, but instead of elevating herself, she focused on tearing someone else down. Now, she's paying the price.
The league has spoken loud and clear. There's no room for that nonsense.
While Caitlin Clark makes history, Carter will be watching, reflecting, and hopefully realizing that talent opens doors, but character keeps them open. Unfortunately, she might have slammed that door shut for good.
Teammates to the games, even just when we were trying to make the playoffs, it was a hard fight. Y'all know I went down, I had a foot injury, which cost a lot of games at the end of the season. We ended up losing to Washington. I didn't play. We lost to Indiana. I didn't play that game. I missed a couple of games to where, you know, maybe if we had our whole lineup, we could have had a better outcome. But like, as far as like that, there's a lot of just narratives being spent. And from my standpoint, you know, I had a great time, and this was one of the best seasons that I ever had in my career. And I'm not going to allow anybody to downplay it like it went bad, because it didn't go bad. It was the best season that I've had in my life. Shooting wise, playing wise, living wise, like, it was a great experience for me personally.
Chicago Sky fans are talking like the championship parade is already scheduled. Confetti, banners.
Meanwhile, Chicago fans are buzzing. With Angel Reese now in the mix, they're hyped, acting like they just built a super team overnight.
But let's slow down for a second. Sure, the Sky might be improving, but they've got a massive roadblock right in their path.
And let's not forget the Indiana Fever's season opener is set. You know what that means. Caitlin Clark is coming. Chicago can make all the roster moves they want, but none of them match Clark's game-changing impact. That three-point shot? Still deadly. That court vision? Still unmatched. Making defenders look slow? Yeah, she's still doing that too.
Incredible moment on a global scale for our game, for our players.
It's like the fans are absolutely incredible. It's the same when we go on the road. Like there's so many people that are showing up in Fever gear. It's really affecting, teams all across our league, which is a really great thing. And, really, I think we're just scratching the surface.
And let's be real, the Clark versus Reese rivalry is back. The basketball gods made sure of it, scheduling them to face off 5 times this season. Their college and rookie year matchups were must-watch TV, and now, the stakes are even higher.
More and more fans to this league, people that have maybe never watched the WNBA before, and it kind of takes your breath away.
Chicago fans can talk playoffs all they want, but first, they have to get through Caitlin Clark. And if history tells us anything, that won't be easy. Reality is about to hit them harder than a deep three from Clark.
In, her future was not going to be very bright, bruh. Now, a lot of people was kind of surprised by this. I'm not, because I know, you know what I'm saying? What she did to Caitlin Clark was completely unnecessary. And I'm here to tell you guys, she's living with that decision today because she is without a...
Some Sky fans believe Ariel Atkins is the missing piece to make them contenders. She's a strong defender, a leader, and a solid scorer, but she's not a miracle worker. Chicago still has chemistry issues, depth concerns, and a lot to prove before they can compete with the league's best. Meanwhile, over in Indiana, Clark is in the gym, locked in. You know she's already circled that first game on her calendar.
They are taking this young, talented core that they have, with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they're adding veteran players that Stephanie White has already worked.
And while we're on the topic of bad decisions, let's talk about Chennedy Carter, who just fumbled the biggest opportunity of her career.
NBA sent a clear message. No roster spot, no team willing to take the risk. While Carter is on the outside looking in.
While Carter is left wondering where it all went wrong, Clark is preparing for what could be one of the biggest seasons in WNBA history. MVP talk, championship hopes, and a team ready to make a serious run. The Fever are building something special, and Clark is leading the charge. Meanwhile, Chicago fans can keep hyping themselves up, but when opening night comes, they might be in for a reality check.